on the Election Commission's order, but says it doesn't agree with this and advocates for freedom of speech and expression. Chhattisgarh naxal encounter sparks a BJP versus Congress face-off. Former Chief Minister Baghel accuses BJP of fake encounters. Is forced to clarify later, says BJP claiming Baghel downplaying the operation. Ram Lalla's idol's first Surya Namaskar after 500 years. Ram Mandir witnesses historic Surya Tilak. Hundreds throng the temple town on the occasion of Ram Navami. But the big story that at the moment is our top story. Campaigning for the first phase of the 2024 Lok Sabha polls has ended this evening. The first phase voting, remember, takes place on Friday. A 7-phase election that begins on Friday with the largest chunk of constituencies. 102 constituencies across 21 states and union territories will vote in phase 1. States like Tamil Nadu will be voting entirely. 39 seats in Tamil Nadu are the largest chunk. So that's, remember, what's going to happen on Friday. But ahead of that, the Election Commission, which is expected to supervise the elections in a neutral manner, finds itself in the eye of a storm yet again. A big row has erupted after Elon Musk's Twitter responded to the EC diktat. According to Twitter or X, in a statement, it said it was withholding some posts of Indians where political speeches had been made from politicians, political parties and candidates after the EC ordered them to take them down. Despite reservations, X said it has complied with the order but has said that it was the wrong thing to do. Twitter says it has informed the affected users about these measures. The EC ordered Twitter to take down select posts of YSR Congress, Aam Aadmi Party, N. Chandrababu Naidu and a Bihar BJP Deputy Chief Minister Samrat Chaudhary for alleged violations of the Model Code of Conduct.
The Election Commission had issued directives to delete certain posts from political platforms. One of those posts was about electoral bonds. I think the Election Commission is well within its rights. As an electoral election regulator, the Election Commission, it's incumbent upon the Commission, it's incumbent upon those people to ensure free and fair elections happen. It also is incumbent upon them to ensure that whenever somebody breaches the Model Code of Conduct, they should be hauled up. And that includes hate speech, that includes religious references, that includes absolutely crass, vulgar statements. So which is why it's very surprising that the Election Commission chose to get a tweet deleted which raised the issue of electoral bonds.
Now, all of this, of course, is coming against the backdrop of growing concerns over whether 2024 is actually seeing a level playing field. The Election Commission has been repeatedly asked this by the opposition parties in particular. So today, a month after the announcement of the Lok Sabha polls and the Model Code of Conduct, the Election Commission actually put out some details. It claims in an action taken report that approximately 200 complaints have been lodged by different parties. 169 of them, they claim, have been addressed. The Commission also announced plans to enhance its vigilance as the election process progresses. In a detailed action report, the EC cites several significant interventions. An FIR, they say, was filed against Union Minister Shobha Karanlaje, North Bengaluru candidate, for making unverified claims about the Bengaluru cafe blast. Notices were also issued to the BJP's Dilip Ghosh for his derogatory comments regarding Mamta Banerjee, to Congress members Supriya Srinath and Randeep Surjewala for disparaging comments about Kangana Ranaut and Hema Malini. Surjewala, remember, has been suspended from campaigning for 48 hours. Another FIR was filed against a DMK's Anita Radhakrishnan for derogatory comments about Prime Minister Modi. The EC has also today stopped a planned visit by West Bengal Governor Ananda Bose to Kuch Bihar, deeming it a violation of the Code of Conduct. But is this enough? Do we really have a level playing field at the moment? Should the EC make all its takedown orders public? Has the EC been doing its duty as a neutral umpire? Joining me now, right at the top of the show, two former Chief Elections Commissioners, O.P. Rawat and S.Y. Qureshi. Join me, S.Y. Qureshi. The Election Commission says, look, we've received 200 notices across parties. We've addressed most of them. But the concern still remains. Is the Election Commission doing enough to ensure a level playing field, or is the government still have a huge advantage when it comes to the way the Election Commission functions?
Well, I saw the press release of the Election Commission with facts and figures, and which clearly showed that the Election Commission has been very prompt in taking action. In fact, it has taken more action against the on the complaints of the opposition, and BJP perhaps may have a cause for complaint. So, prima facie, it seems that the Election Commission is trying to be very transparent, very quick, very prompt, and I have hopes from them seeing this notification.
Okay, so you're seemingly satisfied. O.P. Rawat, do you share Dr. Qureshi's belief that the EC is being proactive, is ensuring a level playing field, is taking cognizance of complaints filed by the opposition as well as the government?
Actually, EC's policy is not to be proactive. In fact, in MCC violation cases, they act only on complaint, and I think I share whatever opinion my senior colleague Dr. S.Y. Qureshi have just expressed, that they have done enough, and they have come out with a report of 1 month of MCC enforcement, which speaks everything about it.
No, but it's the contentious issues, Dr. Qureshi. For example, a few days ago, the opposition went and complained saying the Prime Minister likened the Congress manifesto to the Muslim League. And this was an attempt to play up, stoke religious sentiments. The EC stayed away. It seems as if there are some holy cows. The EC is not willing to touch a few individuals. How do you respond to that?
Well, I'm not aware of all these specific cases. I'm basing my opinion on what I've seen in the media, particularly this report, and also the action which they have taken against the West Bengal governor. The fact that they are taking action within 100 minutes or something, and they're acting on opposition's complaints. So that does give hope.
No, but they've taken down, to give you an example, Dr. Qureshi, to give you an example, today Twitter has said that the EC has taken down posts where individuals have questioned the government on electoral bonds. Those posts are being taken down. Now, the charge is that you don't take down hate speech posts, but you take down posts. Why should the Election Commission ask for posts where people are criticizing the government stand on electoral bonds to be taken down?
Yeah, I agree with you, because the criticism of the government, of course, at this point, all opposition parties will be making criticism of the government all the time. So everything should be taken off. So, but in any case, when action is taken in the model code, we must have full facts before us. Since Rawat and I don't have the facts in front of us, so we can't give very specific advice. But generally, you're right. Prima facie, just because the electoral bonds were criticized, those posts were taken off. It does sound questionable.
Okay, the one issue, Mr. Rawat, which is continuously roiling is that of EVMs. Are we very clear? And the matter is before the Supreme Court at the moment. The court itself has said, why should we be completely disregarding a system which, according to the courts, has worked, that of electronic voting machines? What was it like during ballot paper time? Are you satisfied with that, or do you believe that there is a case to, at least for this one election, ensure 100% counting of the VVPATs or the verified paper trail, just so that everyone knows that this election is, at least in terms of counting, there are no discrepancies?
I don't think that 100% count universally for the whole country will do anything better. Because the Election Commission consulted the Indian Statistical Institute, our premier institution, as to how many polling stations VVPAT slips should be counted for the whole country, and they said a sample of 479 will be good enough. Election Commission is already counting VVPAT slips for almost 21,000 polling stations VVPAT, because 5 per polling station, according to the Supreme Court judgment, they are implementing, which is enough. And then there is a provision in the rules that if any candidate or party is dissatisfied in any constituency or with a number of polling stations, they can complain to the returning officer, and returning officer has powers to count 100% VVPAT slips of that constituency or that many polling stations, whichever has been complained upon. So all these provisions are there, and those are sufficient checks.
Dr. Qureshi, do you agree that the way the system is, we don't need to change it? The matter is before the Supreme Court. Several public civil society groups have gone and questioned the need for and believe there should be 100% verified paper trail.
Well, Rajeev, we have to think out of the box, and I have mentioned in several of my presentations and in articles, there is something in between 100% and only 5 per assembly constituency. And what I have been suggesting, you are a cricketer yourself, and most of India is cricket fan. I have been suggesting that instead of counting 100% or even counting 5, I say only count 4, and which are those 4? The 2 runners-up, because they are likely to be affected if there is cheating by the winner. The 2 runners-up should be allowed to put their finger on suspected machine. Now, you go to the third umpire only when you suspect a decision. If randomly 5% decisions are reviewed by the third umpire, you'll get nothing. It's only where you are suspicious. So, if only suspicious machines are counted, which will bring down the numbers, but the credibility will increase. And in fact, somebody suggested one improvement on my suggestion. They said, let every candidate who has not forfeited his deposit, which means 1% of the candidate, instead of 4 machines, maybe 8, 10 machines will be counted. So that will bring in a lot of satisfaction. That is something which should be considered. Okay. In any case, anything that we do has to be done on a pilot basis. At least try it on a pilot basis.
Can I though ask both of you in conclusion, is there a level playing field? Should we do we accept that this is an election, particularly because of money power, particularly because of media power, where you've got a Ferrari on one side and you've got bicycles on the other? This is a comparison that an author made, that you've got an election where you've got Ferraris on one side versus a bicycle on the other. Do you agree, Mr. Rawat, that this is an election where because of money power, because of media power, it's not a level playing field, yes or no? Should the Election Commission look at it? One party is spending much more than the others, one party has more access to media than the others.
Actually, Election Commission has no locus standi to look at that. Resourcefulness of different parties is not in their domain. They have to provide level playing field whenever somebody approaches to them, that whatever complaints come to them about violations and about disturbing level playing field are dealt with sternly for all sides uniformly.
You know, you're saying that, but the fact, Dr. Qureshi, very simply, we are in the silence period between now and Friday. When the first round of polling is there, you're not supposed to openly campaign in those constituencies. But you'll have all the leaders of the country, Mr. Modi, Rahul Gandhi, all the others, Mamata Banerjee, going across their states or the country, campaigning while polling is going on in a neighboring constituency. Are you okay with that? What happened ever to the silent period then?
Quite right. You know, absolutely, Rajiv, this has been a problem which we have been considering for the last 10, 15 years, that in this age of electronic media, earlier, we would put a ban that the newspaper will not be circulated in that particular district constituency. But that kind of restriction cannot be placed on electronic media. Therefore, what we need to consider is a basic reform, which I've been suggesting, that the 7 multiple phase election has to be reconsidered now. We used to do it to save lives, but there are 100 other measures we have taken to make elections safe, violence-free. Now, one-day election is the answer, because in social media explosion age, the phased election and prolonged election is creating more problems than it has solved in the past.
You know, you made an important suggestion. We keep talking about one nation, one election that the government. If you're going to have one election, then have it in one phase, rather than stretch it over 7 phases, because that's where the field can get skewed. That's at least an interesting suggestion. I don't know whether that will be implemented, but I sometimes look at my home state of Maharashtra, 48 seats, no history of poll violence, and yet a 5-phase election. Is that a level playing field? We'll leave that question blowing in the wind for now. But for now, O.P. Rawat and Dr. Qureshi for joining me and taking my questions. Thank you very much. Now, as I said, all the focus on Friday. And Friday, remember, we'll see big states, Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Bengal, Maharashtra, all going to the polls. A lot of focus this time is on the UP election as always, because the road to Delhi often leads through Lucknow. Today, UP ke ladke, as they were called during the 2017 assembly elections, Rahul Gandhi and Akhilesh Yadav held a joint show of strength in the state. Both leaders training their guns at the BJP. Rahul Gandhi even claiming that the NDA will only win 150 seats. Remember, the BJP has said 400 par is their war cry this election. The UP ke ladke failed in 2017. Can they pass this time? Take a look.
UP ke ladke, not quite the youthful duo of 2017 anymore, are back. Congress MP Rahul Gandhi and Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav made their first joint appearance in the Lok Sabha election on a day campaign ended for the first phase of polls that covers 8 seats in Uttar Pradesh. Their late entry into the arena has befuddled political pundits as the road to Delhi, many say, is through India's most populous state. But that is not surprising, given that the Congress still hasn't revealed if any of the Gandhis will fight from the family seats of Amethi and Raebareli.
देखिए, अमेठी की बात कांग्रेस का डिसीजन है. जो भी मुझे ऑर्डर मिलेगा मैं वो करूंगा. सीईसी मीटिंग हमारी पार्टी में सीईसी मीटिंग्स में ये डिसीजन लिए जाते हैं.
होर्डिंग देखिए आप.
In their first joint press meet, Rahul and Akhilesh highlighted caste census as a major plank. The two claimed electoral bonds had busted Prime Minister Narendra Modi's clean image.
किन डेट्स पे पैसा दिया गया, किसको दिया गया जी, जब ये डेटा मांगा गया जी, उसको भी किसने रोका जी. क्लियर सी बात है जी. ये प्राइम मिनिस्टर का विजन है जी. इसको स्ट्रीट लेवल पे एक्सटॉर्शन कहा जाता है.
इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड ने इनका बैंड बजा दिया. भारतीय जनता पार्टी सभी भ्रष्टाचारियों का गोदाम बन गई.
The reunion also came on a day the country celebrated Ram Navami.
जय श्री राम, जय श्री राम, जय जय श्री राम.
The BJP is highlighting the construction of the Ayodhya Mandir as one of its government's achievements, not just in Uttar Pradesh, but across the country.
500 वर्षों के इंतजार के बाद आखिर भगवान राम अपने भव्य मंदिर में विराजमान हुए हैं.
ये कांग्रेस के लोग तब कहते थे राम हुए ही नहीं, और अब क्या कहते हैं राम तो सबके हैं. यही है इन लोगों का दोहरापन, ये दोहरा चरित्र है.
The occasion was not lost on Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, who took out a roadshow in Saharanpur on Wednesday. She too had a message on Ram Navami.
इस देश का जो धर्म है, देशभक्ति का धर्म है, देश के लिए शहीद होना, ये उनका धर्म था.
The battle lines in Uttar Pradesh were drawn long ago. The double engine of Modi and Yogi combined seems to be unbeatable in the state. But can the SP Congress duo limit the Saffron Party's tally in the state? That remains a key question in Mission 2024. With Bureau Report and video journalist Pradeep Gupta, this is Mosmi Singh in Muzaffarnagar for India Today.
So it's UP ke ladke versus the BJP's double engine in Uttar Pradesh. Modi juggernaut, is it really unstoppable in UP as many pollsters suggest? Or does the India bloc have a game plan that can spoil the show for the BJP? On my face-off tonight, Mohan Kumaramangalam, Congress's spokesperson, and Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP. To you, Mohan Kumaramangalam, first. UP ke ladke, it was hyped up in 2017, it didn't go anywhere. The cycle was bust and so was the Congress's hand. Has anything changed in 7 years? If anything, many believe that Mr. Modi with Yogi Adityanath have even become stronger in 7 years.
I think that's a matter of perspective, Rajdeep. If you look at even from 14 to 19, the number of seats they won in UP actually went down. And yes, Yogi came back with a bigger majority in his second election. But if you look at the issues that are pervading this election around unemployment, around exam leaks, around the caste census that we're bringing to the fore, they don't have responses for any of these issues. And I know the Prime Minister said that ये flop picture है, ये दो लड़कों की picture पहले भी देख चुके हैं. But 1975 में भी एक दो लड़कों की picture निकली थी जो flop थी, which was called Sholay, जो फिर इतिहास रच गई. So let's not count. I don't think the Prime Minister should count his chickens before they hatch. I think there is a long way to go right now, and I think he made the mistake of pulling the trigger on the Ram Mandir way too early, because that's not an issue that is resonating anywhere on the ground anymore. So if the Prime Minister has to go to the electorate in UP, I really don't know what issue he's going to them with.
Can Sanju Verma, that's an interesting perspective. The BJP put a lot of focus, hype, at least in the early month of January, on the Ram Mandir. Most polls now are showing Ram Mandir is not the number one issue, not even in Uttar Pradesh. It's unemployment and rising prices. And that's given the opposition hope that maybe there are little green shoots of change out there. How worried should the BJP be? Even the Prime Minister today seemed to focus more on Mandir and not on Naukri or Mehengai.
Rajdeep, always great to be on your show. First and foremost, Jai Shri Ram to you, Rajdeep. Jai Shri Ram to your audience, and happy Ram Navami to everybody. And Jai Shri Ram to
madam.
My Congress counterpart also on the other side.
Jai Shri Ram, Sanju Verma ji.
Yeah. Now, can we get back to the question, which is the real key? Let's not get diverted by Ram.
Rajdeep, राम का नाम लेने से कोई डाइवर्ट नहीं होता, आपका फोकस और शार्प हो जाएगा. राम का नाम लिया करिए, दिन में एटलीस्ट 5 बार लिया कीजिए प्रभु राम का नाम. नाउ लेट मी कम टू द मेन पॉइंट. With Rajdeep, I don't know, we always have this camaraderie. Very quickly, double engine sarkar. So first I will say, what has Prime Minister Modi done? Because as Rajdeep Sardesai says, state elections are different from Lok Sabha elections. So पहला जो ठप्पा लगेगा, लोटस पर जो छाप लगेगा वोटर का, that will be based on what has Modi delivered. What has Modi delivered? Modi has delivered 12 crore toilets. Modi has delivered 33 crore Ayushman cards. Modi has delivered 13 crore, water connections via Har Ghar Jal. Modi has opened one unicorn every 9 days. In 2022, one unicorn opened every 29 days in 2021. Thanks to Narendra Modi, 4 crore houses have been built under PM Awas Yojana. Thanks to Narendra Modi, 10 crore women have got Ujjwala gas connections. Thanks to Narendra Modi, one college opened every 2 days, one university opened every week. And thanks to Narendra Modi, one IIT and IIM opened every year. Thanks to Narendra Modi, 43 crore loans were processed under Mudra Yojana, of which 30 crore beneficiaries were women alone. Thanks to Narendra Modi, you have the Purvanchal Expressway. Thanks to Narendra Modi, the Uttar Pradesh Defence Corridor passing through Aligarh and Chitrakoot is going to become a reality. Thanks to Narendra Modi, earlier there were only 1.5 airports functional in Uttar Pradesh. Today you have airports which are either complete or coming up in Varanasi, in Jewar, in Kushinagar, in Chitrakoot, in Azamgarh, so on and so forth. Thanks to Narendra Modi, earlier there were only 74 airports in India. Today there are 149 airports. Thanks to Narendra Modi, earlier only 21,000 kilometers of railway line were electrified. Today that number is 64,000 kilometers. And thanks to Narendra Modi, today more than 3 crore senior citizens benefit from Atal Pension Yojana, and thanks to Narendra Modi, more than 2 crore girls and women benefit from Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana.
If we go to any more, okay, so you're saying it's not about Ram Mandir, it's about what you claim are your concrete achievement. Mohan Kumara Mangalam, Sanju Verma has laid out such a long list of thank you notes to Narendra Modi. Short of saying that Narendra Modi, thank you that you are okay. Thank you. This is Thank You Modi show. But you want to respond because this is, you see, the BJP is working on 2 tracks. There's one which is the Hindutva track. There's also a parallel track of a Viksit Bharat. They claim they are building India towards a Viksit Bharat. And in a state like Uttar Pradesh, they're also using their plank of law and order in particular to say, look, we are offering you better law and order now than was offered when the Samajwadi Party was in power.
Rajdeep, that's a state subject. Why is that even an issue right now? That is something that I think maybe you can.
No, are you saying a Vidhan Sabha election is very different to a general election?
Yes. I think Mr. Yogi, if anything, might reap dividends if that is true, as you say it is. Now, in terms of what Mr. Modi has done, of course, Sanjuji rattled off a whole number of things, but I thought she would be more specific to Uttar Pradesh because that's what we're talking about. She took the nation as a whole. I'll offer you a point here, Rajdeep, which is that if indeed Mr. Modi and Mr. Yogi are so confident about gaining in the Uttar Pradesh and doing even better than they did last time, why are they hesitating to announce the candidature of whoever they want to nominate to the seat of Rai Bareli? And why are they not making up their mind about Bhushan Saran Singh? Is he that important to their victory? I mean, why haven't they announced his seat yet? Those are the only two seats I think that are remaining for them to announce.
No, but
Brij Bhushan Saran Singh in particular. No, I'm saying that my point here is that if Mr. Modi has done so much, if Mr. Yogi is so unassailable, his position is, then why are they dithering on announcing their candidates for these two seats?
Okay. Can I just stop you for a moment? Can I just stop you for a moment to put out a clip of Rahul Gandhi is also seemingly dithering on whether he will contest from Amethi or not. This question was asked to him in the press conference. This is how he responded. Then I want your response, Mohan.
मुझे पहले ही 2-3 बीजेपी वाले क्वेश्चंस पता लग जाते हैं, तो वो तो गारंटी पूछे जाएंगे, तो उनके लिए मैं तैयार हूं।
लोग तो गुजरात छोड़कर पीएम बनने के लिए बनारस आते हैं, आप बाय नाइट चले गए, तो क्या अमेठी या रायबरेली से आप लड़ेंगे?
ये बीजेपी वाला क्वेश्चन है।
ये पत्रकार का सवाल।
पहले ही ओपनिंग बॉल बीजेपी क्वेश्चन। वेरी गुड, शाबाश। देखिए, अमेठी की बात कांग्रेस का डिसीजन है, जो भी मुझे ऑर्डर मिलेगा मैं वो करूंगा। सीईसी मीटिंग हमारी पार्टी में सीईसी मीटिंग्स में ये डिसीजन लिए जाते हैं। बट पहला बीजेपी का क्वेश्चन, गुड क्वेश्चन, थैंक यू।
So why is Rahul Gandhi then also dithering to contest from Amethi, Mr. Kumar Mangalam?
He's not dithering. He didn't contest last time, and I think there is a huge groundswell wanting him to come back and contest in Amethi. So there is a question hanging in the air.
He contested and lost last time.
No, I'm saying the time he went to, sorry, my bad. He contested with both seats. This time he might or might not contest Amethi, but as he himself said, one, there is a lot of time to make that decision. Amethi is not going in this phase. Wayanad was, so that decision was made and he's standing there. We'll find out in due course when we get to the CEC in our party, as he rightly said so, where that decision will be made on who is contesting from Amethi. There is no dithering here. He very rightly put it that in our party, the decision really will be taken at the CEC level, where the Congress president, Mr. Kharge, will have a much bigger voice.
Rajdeep.
You know, Sanju Verma, you all continuously target Rahul Gandhi. The truth of the matter is, Rahul Gandhi has every right to decide when he wants to contest from Amethi. It's possible he'll do it after Wayanad. Is the BJP a little overconfident? The one thing that can defeat any political force is overconfidence. The belief that, Samajwadi Party and Rahul Gandhi together can't touch the BJP. Is the BJP being a little overconfident, ma'am?
Rajveer, that's a very interesting question. And I will just say this. And by the way, I want to congratulate you. That was a fabulous interview of you eating ragi mudde, or rather swallowing ragi mudde along with Siddaramaiah.
No, that was not an interview. That was just a clip for Instagram. Unfortunately, the BJP IT cell called it an interview. There was a separate interview. We ran it last night.
You should try mudde, Sanjuji. It's very nice.
You should also try ragi mudde. But go, please, ma'am, can we focus on my question?
I'm focusing on your question, Rajdeep. Don't get so agitated. Okay. Come on. Why is it that you're so uppity and itchy? BJP कुछ बोलती नहीं तो Rajdeep सर से तलवार लेकर एकदम you want to enter the मैदान. जंगे मैदान नहीं है भाई साहब. ये जंगे मैदान नहीं है. Okay, now let me answer your query. Rajdeep, I don't think the BJP is targeting Rahul Gandhi. And now please don't interrupt me. I will tell you something which your audience needs to hear. I have been a management student. And during my MBA days, we were told something. Management guru Philip Kotler. There's a famous saying of Philip Kotler. The biggest disservice, dhyan se suniye, the biggest disservice you can do to a failed product is to not take it off the shelf and keep launching and relaunching it. Ye product expire ho chuka hai. There are no buyers for this product. there are no takers for this product, but you continue to market this product. अरे भाई साहब, जब प्रोडक्ट की स्ट्रेंथ्स नहीं है, मार्केटिंग से कुछ नहीं होगा. ये संजू वर्मा नहीं, ये बड़े विद्वान फिलिप कोटलर कह गए हैं. Now for whom I meant this? I meant this for Rahul Gandhi. 54 out of 59 big and small elections under Rahul Gandhi's mentorship / tutelage, the Congress has lost in the last 10 years. Problem किसकी है? लोग किसको इसका जिम्मेदार समझते हैं? भैया मोदी जी इसके जिम्मेदार हैं. राहुल गांधी लॉस्ट अमेठी in 2019. Who is to be blamed? भैया मोदी जी को जिम्मेदार ठहराओ. But more importantly, I was looking at some very interesting data, and I'll tell you why we are not targeting Rahul Gandhi. अब तो पिक्चर शुरू हुई है. I culled out some data before Rajdeep Sardesai's debate because I know he likes the hard facts. Rajdeep Sardesai's, you will be surprised to know that Rahul Gandhi's attendance as an MP from Wayanad is 51%. The national average is 79%, and the average from Kerala for parliamentarians is 83%. And Rahul Gandhi asked only 27 starred questions in parliament in the last 5 years, of which only 7 starred questions belong to his constituency Wayanad. मतलब आपने पूछे सिर्फ 27 सवाल, और उन 27 सवालों में से सिर्फ 7, only 7 questions pertain to Wayanad, which is barely 26% of the overall questions asked, which in any case was a small number.
Okay, so you're today in form. It's your Ram Navami spirit that has got you with all your data packing in here on the show. But Mohan Kumar Mangalam, there's a point there. You see, you have lost, including in Uttar Pradesh, all elections under Rahul Gandhi's leadership. He tried to do it on his own in 2012, did not succeed. Then tried up with Akhilesh Yadav, did not succeed. 2022, his sister Priyanka Gandhi Vadra took charge. She did not succeed. Where does this leave, the duo? Where does this leave the Gandhis?
Rajdeep, first of all, let me say that for our competitors to be so obsessed with what they term to be a failed product that we're relaunching again and again. I mean, I've never seen a competitor be so concerned with their primary opposition. It's obvious that every time Mr. Gandhi speaks, every time he says something, he draws attention to a subject, the BJP immediately deputes all its senior cabinet ministers to hold press meets. And then they say, oh, there's a failed product you're launching again and again and again. As far as Wayanad is concerned, I guarantee you he's going to win with an even bigger margin than last time. And for the BJP, who often touts the Prime Minister's electoral successes as the answer to all his follies or all the mistakes he's made or all the problems we have, I'm sure she can understand when I would do the same when she points out to some number of questions asked or otherwise.
But the general
now
election,
to your point, now to your
Kumar Mangalam, you'll appreciate to win
question.
the general election, the route is through UP, not through Wayanad and Kerala. So if Rahul Gandhi really wants to take on the BJP, he's going to have to bite the bullet.
Rajdeep, you're saying that if Mr. Gandhi doesn't stand in Amethi, then we cannot win the national election. The India Alliance will not win. Is that the claim you're making? I'd say that's rather unfair.
Okay.
And I'd also say that we have had prime ministers in the past who've not come from the state of Uttar Pradesh.
I'm sorry about prime ministers. It's about reviving the Congress in UP. But just listen in for a moment to Priyanka Gandhi. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra was on the campaign trail. Our correspondent Maushmi Singh caught up with her. I want you to listen and then I'll get final comments.
दोनों तरफ से राम की बात हो रही है. प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी और योगी आदित्यनाथ भी राम की बात कर रहे हैं, राम आएंगे और पूरा उस तरीके से. तो किनके राम सही हैं? क्या राम सियासत में आने चाहिए?
राम देखिए, राम एक ही है.
कौन असल राम भक्त है?
असल राम भक्त वो है जो सत्य के पथ पर चलता है, चाहे वो कोई भी हो, किसी भी धर्म का हो, किसी भी जाति का हो. वही राम भक्त है जो सत्य को पकड़ता है और सत्य के पथ पर चलता है. जहां तक मैं देख रही हूं, भाजपा की सरकार ने एक सत्य का पथ नहीं चुना है, क्योंकि जनता के सामने सत्य नहीं आ रहा है. और मैं इतना कहूंगी कि मोदी जी के सामने भी इस देश की सच्चाई आज दिख नहीं रही है उनको. मोदी जी को ये दिख नहीं रहा है कि इस देश का जो आम आदमी है, देश का गरीब है, देश का किसान है, देश की गरीब महिला है, कितना तरस रही है, कितना तड़प रही है, कितना तड़प रहे हैं लोग, क्योंकि महंगाई आसमान छू रही है, बेरोजगारी बढ़ गई है, कम नहीं हुई है. और मुझे ताज्जुब होता है कि 10 सालों के लिए सरकार में रहे हैं, इनके पास इतनी सत्ता है, अपार सत्ता है. ये खुद कहते हैं, अपने मियाँ मिट्ठू खुद बनते हैं, कहते हैं कि अपने मुंह मियाँ मिट्ठू कहते हैं कि पूरी दुनिया में सबसे बड़े मोदी जी हैं। भाजपा के नेता कहते हैं ठीक है, मोदी जी के पास इतनी सत्ता है, अपार सत्ता है, तो अगर इतनी सत्ता है तो 10 सालों में रोजगार क्यों नहीं बढ़ाए, महंगाई क्यों नहीं घटाई।
Final word, therefore, from you, Sanju Verma. Does Priyanka Gandhi Vadra worry you any more than Rahul Gandhi? Rahul Gandhi, you've decoded. Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, maybe more articulate and hitting at Prime Minister Modi and his claims to be the genuine Ram Bhakt.
Okay. Rajveet, now I don't wish to be heckled. I'm not going to take that beaten path and say, oh, Priyanka Vadra has nothing to her credit apart from the long nose which she has inherited from her grandmother Indira Gandhi. I will speak on facts. Facts are this. प्रियंका वड्रा ने कहा महंगाई आसमान छू रही है, तो प्रियंका वड्रा जी ध्यान से सुनिए. द इन्फ्लेशन फॉर मार्च इज एट अ न्यू लो ऑफ 4.85%, कोर इन्फ्लेशन 3.1%, फ्यूल इन्फ्लेशन अ नेगेटिव 1.69%. यस, minus 1.69%. Unemployment for FY 22-23 at a record low of 3.1%. और प्रियंका वड्रा जी बड़ी जल्दी 10 सेकंड में सुनिए, 1.75 crore free gas connections given in Uttar Pradesh alone under Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. 56 lakh houses built under PM Awas Yojana in Uttar Pradesh alone. 2.75 crore toilets given under Swachh Bharat Yojana in Uttar Pradesh alone. 2.35 crore tap water connections given under Har Ghar Jal Yojana in Uttar Pradesh alone. 17 lakh hawkers have benefited under the PM Swanidhi Yojana in Uttar Pradesh alone. And the big daddy of all, 15 crore people, कितने 15 करोड़ लोग हर महीने from Uttar Pradesh alone are the beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. और don't forget कि जब आप लोग सरकार में थे, आपके मित्र सरकार में थे, 1 minute, the dues of sugarcane farmers, the dues of sugarcane, 10 seconds, I beg of you. The dues of sugarcane farmers was 38,000 crore, which is what Yogi Adityanath inherited in 2017. आज हमने लगभग 56,000 crores worth of dues of sugarcane farmers along with bonuses.
Okay,
and sugarcane is the biggest industry in
You've made your point, ma'am. You've replied to Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. Relax now. I will leave it to the voters of Uttar Pradesh to judge.
Arre.
Yes, Babon, you'll get 20 seconds. Otherwise, you'll also complain. Go ahead.
Rajdeep, I'll just say, I won't even use the entire 20 seconds. I'll say this election is about whether the voter is going to trust Mr. Modi to solve their problems. If you listen to Sanju, there are no problems. Poverty is not a problem. Unemployment is not a problem. Price rise is not a problem. The voters are saying otherwise, no matter what survey you take. Sanju, not fair.
Okay.
Come on. I didn't interrupt you.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is that it is going to boil down to there are problems. There are problems on the ground. They're there for everybody to see. I mean, maybe not for people who don't have those issues, but the majority of the population is saying these are the issues. So it's going to rest on whether they believe Mr. Modi is going to help them solve these or not.
Okay, let's leave it there, Mohan. Mohan and Sanju Verma, I appreciate both of you joining us. As I said, the road to Delhi leads through Lucknow, which is why this will be one battle that will be closely watched in 2024. Now, another battle that unfortunately should be watched carefully for different reasons is not being looked at. But we will tonight on News Today. Manipur goes to the polls in 2 phases starting on Friday. This is a state which has seen more than 200 people dead in terrible ethnic violence. Hundreds of people still live in Manipur in the Kuki-Meitei divide in relief camps. Is elections therefore at all on the mind of Manipur's residents? Take a look.
Manipur, a state on the boil. Ever since ethnic violence started last year, the Meitei and Kuki-Zomi communities have been at daggers drawn. There are sporadic incidents of violence even now. The latest on Saturday when gunfight broke out between 2 rival groups at the tri-junction of Kangpokpi, Ukhrul and Imphal East districts. The state with 2 Lok Sabha seats will vote in 2 phases on April 19 and 26, but political activity is yet to peak. Well, Rahul Gandhi kicked off his Bharat Joro Nyay Yatra from Manipur. Home Minister Amit Shah held his first election rally on Monday. Hundreds of displaced people are still in camps. Elections are the last thing on their minds. India Today visited the Akampat relief camp where people in large number were brought in from Moreh and Churachandpur.
I think it is not the right time for election in Manipur because the people and the citizens of Manipur have not been in a stable mind because of the conflict. Even if I say that it is not the right time for election, it is going to happen. So I think it is better to focus on who our great leaders will be because it is democracy. So we have the choice to not give a vote to any of them.
In Manipur's famous Ima market, probably the only one in the world run entirely by women, there is a deafening lack of enthusiasm towards elections.
हम लोग क्या फ्राई करके रहता है ऐसा ही रहता है तो इलेक्शन कैंपेन के लिए आया है तो हम लोग इसको वेलकम नहीं करना चाहता है क्यों नहीं करेगा इलेक्शन भी नहीं चाहता है इलेक्शन करने तो करे दो करो वो लोग का राइट है करो हम लोग का भी राइट है वोटिंग करना तो हम लोग का राइट है होने से भी हम लोग इलेक्शन नहीं देना चाहते हैं
इंटेंशनली किया है ये क्राइसिस तो हमने क्या करें अब भी चुनाव के समय आया है चुनाव के फोर्सफुली इम्पोज किया है ये चुनाव ये इलेक्शन फोर्सफुल है चुनाव के लिए हम क्या करें नहीं चाहिए हमें ये चुनाव
Many civil society bodies representing the Kuki Zomi community have announced a boycott of the upcoming Lok Sabha elections. Many in Manipur have decided to sit out this round. With Babi Shireen, Bureau Report, India Today.
Joining me now is Pradeep Fanjumam, one of the senior most editors in Imphal. Appreciate your joining us, Pradeep. It seems to me that Manipur is the forgotten state. Very little talk about elections there. It's taking place against the backdrop of violence. We've seen videos even a few days ago coming of people being brutally killed. What's your sense? Can an election in Manipur really be free and fair when there is still so much of violence going on, people still living in relief camps?
Yeah, that is very much the reality here, that there's lots of violence and also lots of enmity between the two different communities. And amidst that, when you hold an election, there's going to be a lot of coercion and a lot of violence, fear. So free and fair election may not be totally possible. But I was also arguing elsewhere how difficult it would be actually to postpone for the elections for 2 seats. Because by the time, if you don't hold it now, you hold it after 2 months, there's going to be a government. And then it's not going to be fair again because the opposition will be fighting whoever is in power. So I think there is a catch-22 situation. You go the other way, that has a catch. You stay here, there's another catch. And so I think there's some bit of compulsion of holding this election now.
But there are many Kuki groups that have appealed to publicly boycott the elections, express their anger in the manner in which the situation in Manipur has been handled over the last year. The wounds seem very raw. The Chief Minister says all is under control. Home Minister says situation will improve. But the reality on the ground seems very different. How does one address these concerns?
Yeah, I think the focus has been on the elections only, not the problem here. I think the election itself should have addressed this, that this solution is going to be there. And also in the different manifestos of the different parties, this should have been mentioned. What I see now is that in the manifesto, you're seeing the larger picture only, especially the BJP manifesto, which is talking about the highways and infrastructure. But those larger pictures are okay. But sometimes you have to also be taking care of the short-term kind of emergencies, which is what Manipur is facing at the moment. And as I say, in the long run, we're all dead. So in the short, we have to take care of the short run. You have to be also taking care of the larger picture, okay. But there are very immediate short-term pictures which you can't just right away. And I think that's what's happening in Manipur at the moment. Its trauma is not being seen or understood by the establishment.
But has any effort been made then to use this election to bridge the divide between Meiteis and Kukis, or do you fear that an election of this kind will only exacerbate the divide between the two communities?
I wish the election had addressed this problem. But otherwise, in the civil society, there are people who want this and trying to bridge a gap, but it's not going to be easy. When you are into that conflict and you see casualties, and those casualties are accentuating the angers on both sides, and it's going to continue. So it's going to be difficult, but somebody has to make a beginning. And I wish it was the politicians who are going to do it. But it seems like it's not going to be the case, that in the election manifesto, this thing is not reflected at all. How this problem is going to be solved, it's seen only as a boil, which can be taken care of anytime. It's not seen as a disease which can actually consume the health of that particular community or that particular state. And right now what's happening is Manipur is in that very, critical state of illness, which is being neglected, which is being seen as something minor, something which can be taken care of later. And I think this is quite unfortunate.
A final question. There are people who will be voting from relief camps who've suffered enormous loss of lives, property on both sides of this ethnic divide. Do you therefore, looking into the future, see a healing touch at all? Or are we looking at Manipur now caught in an endless trap and cycle of violence, Pradeep?
Oh, I don't think anything can be there permanently, but the trauma should be accentuated. There should be efforts to actually control this and also patch up the differences. So many things happen because of misunderstanding. Those things should be cleared, and then you in a spirit of give and take, you come to a resolution which is acceptable to all. And also, it has to be understood that both the parties fighting have their own insecurities. All those insecurities have to be addressed. We just can't say one side is suffering, the other side is not. As you also suggested, this is the trauma is being faced by both sides, and in that common suffering, I think that redemption should come about. That in the realization of that the same suffering that one party is suffering, the other party is also doing that. If both parties recognize that, I think the reconciliation can come about.
My final question, though, a first step towards reconciliation surely is accountability. There's been so much of violence, and yet so few people have been punished. A zero FIR has just been filed in a case of horrific videos of people being killed, of village defense committee members from the Kuki community recently. Would you agree that an election without accountability and justice will never ensure true peace and reconciliation?
Yeah, that is there. But then in a conflict situation, these kind of things are, you have the abnormal kind of situation which becomes normal, that you have been seeing all this kind of atrocities on both sides. And then you somehow, you tend to say this is part of life, that kind of thing, which is very unhealthy. People should be coming out and objecting to any kind of atrocities against anybody on either side. And that kind of thing, either because people are a little fearful, or else you are exposed to a violent situation, and then you are party in a sense that you are actually immersed in that situation. You become somehow to be influenced by one side or the other, and I think that's actually a very dangerous thing. And this danger is what should be addressed. And in the elections, people are thinking only of winning the elections and not winning the hearts of and the minds of those people who are actually the victims.
Very well put. Elections are about, for many politicians, only about winning votes, not the hearts and minds of people. Manipur's hearts and minds need to be won, and it's an unfortunate situation that it remains India's forgotten state. Pradeep Panjumam, for joining me on the show tonight, thank you very much. Let me take a break at this point. When we return, we've got plenty up ahead, including on my plate this Friday, elections from Karnataka. Back in a moment.
Wow. Not bad, Rajdeep. For a 60-year-old, I'm almost as fit as our Prime Minister. Yeah, I'm trying to live a healthy life. Badam Mysore Pak. Until now, I've been having Mysore Pak in the TV studios. Now I'm finally having it in Mysore.
We join hand with BJP, solve the problems.
Modi ji is saying 400 par.
We are not the financer, we are the workers of the Congress party.
Fried fish and chips and my roast mutton. It's my dinner, my choice. No politics here.
In India's democracy, every corner holds a story. Rajdeep Sardesai dives into the action, capturing the campaign trail's essence.
By three-time MP.
Preeti Chaudhary uncovers people's untold tales, struggles, triumphs and hopes.
अभी तक चेकअप कराए हैं?
Rahul Gandhi, beyond statistics, gathers real insights.
Welcome back. Tonight's ground report comes from Chhattisgarh. Its deadliest encounter that took place yesterday. In a fierce joint operation, a team of BSF and District Reserve Guards gunned down 29 Naxalites, including some senior cadres in Kanker district. A large cache of weapons, including AK-47 rifles, were also recovered. We have tonight's ground report from Kanker.
Biggest encounter in Chhattisgarh. 29 Maoists, including one of their top leaders, Shankar Rao, gunned down in a joint operation by the BSF and the District Reserve Guard in Chhattisgarh, Kanker district on Tuesday.
Apart from being the biggest anti-Naxal operation in the history of Chhattisgarh, the security forces have managed to script history in terms of recovery. The cache of arms and ammunition that have been recovered is certainly unprecedented. AK-47s in SAS 303, self-loading rifles and 9mm service pistols, along with carbine and several IED devices have been recovered from this spot.
ये वेपन सभी पुलिस और सुरक्षा बलों को से ही लूटा गया है पहले, और जैसे ऑटोमेटिक वेपन से इसमें आइडेंटिफिकेशन नंबर्स भी रहते हैं, तो इसमें पता चल जाएगा कि कहां से ये हथियार लूटा गया है.
Both BJP and Congress hailed the success of the security forces.
कल छत्तीसगढ़ में सुरक्षा बलों को बड़ी सफलता प्राप्त हुई है. छत्तीसगढ़ पुलिस का भी सहयोग जितना इच्छनीय है उससे ज्यादा ही मिल रहा है. मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि कॉम्बिनेशन आगे भी चालू रहेगा और बहुत कम समय के अंदर मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हम देश से नक्सलवाद को उखाड़ फेंकेंगे.
Former Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel, however, was caught in a controversy as he had earlier in the election campaign pointed to alleged fake encounters by security forces.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी शासनकाल में फर्जी एनकाउंटर होता रहा, गिरफ्तारियां हुई है. अभी फिर से 4 महीने में वो फर्जी एनकाउंटर में भी वृद्धि हुई है और फर्जी गिरफ्तारियां भी नक्सली बता के आदिवासियों को बंद करने की लगातार जानकारी आ रही है.
कोई कैसे कह सकता है कि ये फर्जी मुद्दे हैं? ये कोई कैसे कह सकता है? मतलब कहने वाले को एक बार सोचना तो चाहिए. जवानों ने अपने जान की बाजी लगाकर जिस काम को किया है, आप उनका अपमान करेंगे? ये दुर्भाग्यजनक है.
Maoism has haunted Chhattisgarh for years. In 2013, the entire state leadership of the Congress was killed in an attack that left 27 dead. Since then, the centre and the state government have cracked down on red terror with an iron hand. With Sumi Keval Patel in Chhattisgarh, Bureau Report, India Today.
And from that ground report, I leave you tonight with our Good News Today story, and it's a lovely story. Despite living in extreme poverty, a son of a poor farmer from Bulandshahr, Pawan Kumar, has cracked the UPSC exam. He was ranked 239 in the civil service exam and now intends to join the civil services, the IAS he hopes. It's our Good News Today story. It's a story of spirit and hopefully of the great Indian dream. Thanks for watching. Stay well, stay safe. Good night. Shubh Ratri. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
Celebration at Pawan Kumar's house.
The 24-year-old who went to Navodaya school in Buklana village in Bulandshahr and completed graduation from Allahabad University has cleared UPSC Civil Services exam with a rank of 239. Behind his success is the story of years of hard work by his parents and sisters.
IAS बना बहुत बड़ी खुशी हुई है हमारी फैमिली वालों को, हमारे गांव वालों को, क्षेत्र को, सबको बहुत बड़ी खुशी हुई है। और पढ़ाई उसने बस इसी छप्पड़ में रह के बहुत कठिनाई से पढ़ाई करी उसने। हम तीनों बहन और मम्मी पापा हम सब मजदूरी करते थे, खेतों में काम करते थे और उसकी पढ़ाई के लिए उसे सहयोग करते थे।
They fondly remember how they saved money to buy a mobile phone for Pawan.
उसको जो सेकंड हैंड दिवाया हमने, मेरे भैया नए की तो स्थिति नहीं है, तो 3,000-3,200 को आया, हमें तो बहुत महंगा लगो। ऐसे मानो जैसे 30 लाख 32 लाख को पढ़ो। सगरे बालक बड़े ने मेहनत करी, भैया आपको मोबाइल दिवाया, ऑनलाइन पढ़ाई, बाहर पढ़ाई। जब जाए कि उसको मिल की तरह के लगा रहेगा, अपने हिले से पढ़ते रहेगा।
As laddus do the rounds, what is hard to miss is the chula in one corner of the house that is still used. Pawan's father says they opted to pay for his son's coaching instead of spending on gas refills.
गैस उज्ज्वला से कनेक्शन बन गए, मोदी जी ने दिए। अब उनके लिए पैसा नहीं, गैस के लिए बच्चों की पढ़ाई के लिए करें इकट्ठे, या 1,000-1,100 में सिलेंडर भरवा में, इतने में एक बालक की फीस की व्यवस्था करें।
Pawan Kumar IAS, Goan Buklana, title for an inspiring real life story. Bureau Report, India Today.